Hello, Teria.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Okay. Um,
I can hear you.
okay.
Maybe go to your settings or something.
Hi, Teria. Great to see you again.
Likewise.
Yes, so appreciate your correspondence. Let me give you some news. I plan to retire at the end of this year. And I'm looking at cleaning out my house and actually uh, came across a couple items. One was a wallet that my great grandfather Eric brought with him when he immigrated from Norway to the US. And I know it was from Norway because the date that's stamped in the leather is 1872. And we know that he immigrated in 1875. So this, in fact, was something he had while he was still in Norway, and it came with him to the US. And his wife, my great-grandmother Ingeborg, came later. She came in 1879 or arrived sometime in 1880 because that's when they were married in Buffalo County, Wisconsin, where I grew up. I have the Bible that my great grandmother Ingeborg brought with her. When she came. Oops, sorry. When she came in 1880, and again that Bible is engraved with the year before that. So I know that both those items came from Norway with them, and they didn't bring a lot with them when they came from Norway. And as I found these items, I thought, who in the family should get them? And it's a big decision because now Eric and Ingeborg have many descendants here in the United States. But I recalled that you've taken over as the museum director in Norway of a museum dedicated to, the theme of immigration, and thought what better thing than to donate them to you so that you can have them in their archives, but then also that, Eric and Ingeborg never were able to return to Norway, but I thought these items that they brought with them could be returned. And so that's what we wanted to talk to you about. And, maybe even plan a visit to Norway to bring the items to you personally.
Thank you for the nice words, and I'm very humble, to hear about that, and the fact that these family items that have belonged to your family for 140 years plus, or in your family, is that you want to donate them to the museum. You so it's I'm very humble, but the fact that you are thinking about this and to understand to have a project around it is an amazing, and I really support that idea, and I'm very thankful that you're thinking about the museum and to donate them to us.
Well, maybe it isn't in there. I don't know. I know I've got it, but I'm not going to look anymore tonight.
So we're on our way to Grandma's house in Gelmonton. We're going to look at some of the things that she has and pictures of my great-grandparents' farm, pictures of them. We'll probably go to Aunt Ann and Uncle John's deer cabin, see how they're doing for hunting. Probably also go back to Bennett Valley and see the farm that they had when they lived here.
I don't see her in the window yet.
She might be. thanks. Yeah. Did Mom tell you we're going to Norway? Yeah, we're going in January. I don't think I've ever, well, no, I've not been there in January, so we'll see what that's like. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think actually they're probably as cold because the ocean kind of keeps them warmer, but they'll have snow for sure. The days will be shorter. Okay, so we're going to turn right here on what's called Double B. And so on this corner where you see that little shed there, this was a store, and then the schoolhouse was right behind it.
On that hill.
And then the edge of that hill, that's part of the farm. And then this was their farm here on the left, right against the side of the ridge.
Yeah, they sure have wrecked it. They sure have.
So if you can, want me to slow down and zoom in?
Yeah,
So that's the
just
old house. The barn is gone. But that's the house.
the house looks pretty much the same. But it's too bad they tore down that red barn. I don't know why they had to. That didn't look like it was in bad condition.
But the windmill, see the windmill there in the hill, Claire? That's still there. That's the original windmill.
Is it?
And you can see the house.
Yes. Isn't that wonderful? Boy, that's
The
they're
windmill.
buying
You
them.
got the windmill?
Mm-hmm.
But you can see their whole farm was like on the side of a ridge. Like with the reflection and stuff. So this is it's called charcoal painting. So they took like a portrait, a family portrait, and then the photographer or an artist would make almost like a charcoal, it's called charcoal portrait, but that was a technique they used in the late 1800s when they did a sitting for the family photo. And then this is a painting that was done on the farm where they lived. This would have been like in the 40s or 50s because my grandfather had the farm then and he built this milk house. But that windmill was from the original farm and we saw that today in the drive.
Alright. One of the last questions I wanted to ask was what you knew about Eric and Ingeborg and what they were like, or what you've heard they were like, obviously, because they go back.
That's all I would know.
Yeah.
I have seen pictures of them. We have a huge picture that was a very early picture. And Ingeborg was a small person. She had dark hair. And Eric looked like he was kind of stout and a very pleasant looking person. Ingeborg, I was told by one of the relatives where she stayed before her death. And she said she was very nervous. And I think that kind of fell into the family. And other than that, I did not know him. I have pictures of him. And not much was said of people those days. Very little they would say about their family or anything. It was the same way with my family. My mother never talked about her family much either. So that's about all I really know about them.